Hello and welcome into the newest episode of Pat's Latest. I'm your host, Mike Gambardella, and we are just 9 days away from the NFL draft, and things are starting to heat up, not just for the New England Patriots, but all NFL teams as they are making final preparations to potentially revamp their future franchise, as well as those that are hoping to make an impact in the playoffs this season. We'll get into the latest domino effect from Shedeur Sanders and what's going on with his camp out in Colorado, a potential slide for McMillan, the list of draft attendees that'll be out in Green Bay, and the Patriots probably looking at taking a running back and which one it could be next Thursday. Before we get into everything, make sure you go down and subscribe for our channel, get into the comments and let us know what you think about the latest news revolving your New England Patriots, and make sure you go back and check out our other episodes once you finish up today's. We start first with that Shedeur domino, as Shedeur Sanders has kind of seen his draft stock slide all over the place, mainly in the first round, but kind of go anywhere from number 2. And if you even go back a month or two ago, there were conversations of could he challenge Cam Ward to be the number 1 overall pick. But really starting to say, okay, from number 2 to really number 28 and beyond, he could go anywhere. Just a few days ago, both the Cleveland Browns and the New York Giants seemed to say that they were not taking a quarterback at the top 3 picks. The Giants have been reported as having a huge contingent at all of his games all season. I had another good discussion and workout at his pro day, but now with the Giants seemingly leaning in towards taking Abdul Carter at number 3, there's a ninth hour report on Monday that the Giants are now going to travel to Colorado on Thursday and have a private workout with Shedeur and intend to circle back with Sanders after sending a heavy contingency throughout this process. It's a little surprising that the Giants are going this route, and again, could just be for due diligence, but it really goes to show that quarterback is the end all be all in the NFL. The Giants have already gone out and got Russell Wilson, got Jameis Winston, have completely revamped their quarterback room, and now are seeing should they actually pull the trigger on Shedeur Sanders. Now, this does mean a few things. It does not mean that they are absolutely looking at making the move at 3. Again, you could blow their socks off, put it over the hump and say, look, we need to take a quarterback. This is where our franchise rests on, so let's just do it. And especially with having a recent draft pick like Kayvon Thibodeau at the defensive end spot, that could line up. Additionally, they could be looking at saying, okay, we're starting to see Shedeur slide his draft stock a little bit, so you could potentially trade back in the NFL draft and get him. That is the scenario. Well, all 3 will impact the Patriots first. If they take him at 3, you end up with Abdul Carter, and that is the pie in the sky scenario we've talked about for weeks and have admitted in the past 2 weeks that that's probably not going to happen. So again, Patriots fans have to be praying on Thursday that Shedeur Sanders and the Sanders family absolutely wows the Giants' brain trust and decides to go that route. Additionally, the Giants could say, let's stockpile assets here. Let's go trade back out of 3. Let's say, look, it really says, look, they're 2 generational prospects, right? Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter. If you don't believe Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, whichever one slides to you, is that generational guy, in a draft like this, it makes more sense to have multiple draft picks within the first, second, and third round and potential more draft assets for next year than it does to just have one starter. You can stockpile more in the same fashion that the Patriots are sitting there at 4 saying, if those top 2 guys are gone, let's try and trade back. So it could be in that regard to say, let's trade back out of the spot, go get Shedeur and other things. More than likely, it means that the Giants are looking to potentially trade back into the first round or at the top of the second should Shedeur actually start to slide back. They will take Abdul Carter at 3, and then should the Saints start to talk about it at 9, then the Giants could say, look, let's slide in here. Or if they're saying, let's see if the Saints make a move at 9, and then if not, you can get in the back half of the first round at a discounted price and do these things. So again, it's a big domino that needs to fall one way or the other. Again, the Patriots fans, keep your fingers crossed across the board that the Giants actually says this is the way we need to go. But more than likely, this means that the Giants are looking to see what Shedeur can get them at a later spot in the first round. Additionally, looking at those top prospects and the drafts, there is now reported conjecture that Ted McMillan, while he had a lot of support at the start of this draft cycle, even me at one point saying maybe you do just look to invest at the number 4 pick. Now it's looking like not only is he shifting back out of the top 15, he might not even be the first wide receiver, Travis Hunter, to the side, selected in this draft. Albert Breer reported earlier that it wouldn't be a shock if none of the wide receivers are selected in the top 15. That would include Ted McMillan. And the Patriots trading into the 20s are selecting McMillan, Matthew Golden, the burner from Texas, Luther Burden, who coming in could have been the top player in this draft, and or from a skill position perspective. And in certain boards, we've seen him as high as number 13. Additionally, Ohio State wide receiver Emeka Egbuka, one of those guys could actually be the first one off the board, not necessarily Ted McMillan. That's surprising after 2 months of saying this is the best wide receiver in this draft class. There have been some issues that have popped up as they've made the rounds with teams and kind of uncovering a little bit more. McMillan kind of has gone from the top prospect to someone that is now seeing that his game speed, tape speed, is not as fast as other players, that he's faced some questions about his football makeup, unfortunately, and whether that's fair or not, I think remains to be seen, but has faced those questions because people are now digging in. It's, you're at Arizona, you're not at Texas, right? You're not making marks in the college football playoff. Why have these things not happened? Why are you not pushing to be out there constantly? These questions are going to come out through the draft process, and if people aren't satisfied with the answers, that can sometimes push your draft stock down, even if you are the most absolute stud player that you could see. There's a chance, again, that Matthew Golden, that Texas wide receiver, could leapfrog Ted McMillan. Again, I think this is ultimately a good thing for the Patriots because looking at this draft, they are looking to come away with a tackle and a wide receiver, I would say, in the first 2 to 3 rounds of this NFL draft. In a best case scenario, you're looking to come with a tackle and a wide receiver in the first 35 to 40 picks in this draft. If Ted McMillan continues to slide back after you take a tackle at 4, that's an opportunity for the Patriots to jump up, take Ted McMillan at that point. And if you're able to double up and come away with Will Campbell and Ted McMillan, then suddenly you have absolutely won the NFL draft by getting 2 potential starters right off the bat, as opposed to trying to wait out the draft a little bit, potentially trading back early. There's a lot of what ifs at play. If you get a guy that you want and then trade back in to get another guy you want, you're going to feel very much better about your NFL draft prospects than you would be if you were potentially looking at something on the other side of that. Additionally, we're looking at which players we can expect to see in that first round, and the NFL has officially released the list of players that will be in Green Bay. It was a little surprising when we heard some of the names that were initially confirmed. We can confirm now that Jalen Milroe, the quarterback from Alabama, will be one of those 17 players, only 17 that get the invite to Green Bay, that will be there. It would be very shocking to hear him go as a first-round pick. And again, it would take a team to come into the back end of that first round to make it happen. But more than likely will be there on that day 2 or 3. Additionally, Alabama will have a very large contingent. Tyler Booker, the guard, Jihad Campbell, the linebacker, among other players like, from the SEC that will really round out some of the top selections. Will Campbell will be there. Abdul Carter, Cam Ward, another surprising one, but maybe less so because, again, it is the quarterback position, but Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart will be there. Matthew Golden, who we just mentioned, the top flight wide receiver from Texas. Mason Graham, the defensive tackle from Michigan. Travis Hunter, obviously. Ashton Jeanty. Will Johnson, the cornerback from Michigan. Josh Simmons, the tackle slash guard from Ohio State, will be among those 17. Malachi Starks, who, again, at the start of this draft cycle, could have been a top 10 pick. Shamar Stewart, who is another guy that the Patriots have looked at, defensive end from Texas A&M, and Michael Williams, another one we mentioned, the defensive lineman from Georgia. So several prospects that, again, we'll hear their names brought up a lot as they will be in that green room. You'll hear a lot about their stories. But again, you said Ashton Jeanty, and we talked about him yesterday as could be a dark horse pick for the Patriots. But again, I think you have to set that offensive line first. But that doesn't preclude the Patriots from taking a running back in this draft and expect them to select at least one in this NFL draft. And it is a deep running back draft. I think if you're looking at a day 2 or 3 day 2 in either round 2 or 3 selection, Ollie Gordon from OSU is one of the top picks coming into this draft. And again, many expected him to be in the spot that Ashton Jeanty is now, maybe more towards the back half of the first round and what Omarion Hampton currently is at. But because his draft stock has gone down, the Patriots could get him at a cheaper price. Dylan Sampson is someone that has had a visit with the Patriots. The Tennessee running back is known as a leader and would be a good selection for the Patriots in that spot. UCF running back RJ Harvey is a home run waiting to happen. And again, one that the Patriots could look at. I think if they miss on some of those top 3, Damian Martinez, the Miami running back, and Cam Skattebo, who made a big-time name for himself in the college football playoff, are your top 5 names that you've heard a lot about and could be fits if the Patriots see the board play out the way they want in those first 3 rounds. Once they get to day 3, looking at 4, 5, 6, and 7, DJ Giddens, Jaden Blue, who also had the visit with the Patriots, the Texas running back. Additionally, Woody Marks from USC, Taj Brooks from Texas Tech, and Donovan Edwards from Michigan, who's had a phenomenal career for the Wolverines. The Patriots, again, will be looking for a running back. There's a lot of talent out there. That's just the top 10 rattled off for you, just as a combination of skill and potential fit for the Patriots. But over the next 9 days, if Josh McDaniels finds a quote-unquote diamond in the rough, do not be surprised if he pushes Elliott Wolf and Mike Vrabel to say, I want to use one of our 6th or 7th round picks. And if Jeremy Springer, the special teams coach for the Patriots, gets his way and gets a kicker in round 7, don't be surprised if that 6th round surprising running back makes its way to the Patriots, especially if they can check 2 big boxes, both as a pass catcher and as a pass blocker. That'll do it for this episode of Pat's Latest. Make sure you get in the comments and let us know which running back you want to see on the Patriots roster. If you think there is a world in which the Patriots are coming out away with one of the top tackles and top wide receivers in this draft, and if Shedeur Sanders might actually do the Patriots a favor. Again, make sure you go back and check out our other episodes, subscribe for our channel, and we'll continue to have everything for the New England Patriots in the last 9 days before the NFL draft. Fight on, Foxborough.